Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about something that I watched a lot of videos on, and I like to compare from time to time how much I got my car for versus what they're going for now and what people paid. If anyone's new and you guys are just tuning in, it's a 22 1SS 1LE. I bought it pre-owned from a dealer out in New Jersey. Jersey dealers have bought two cars already, and one was all right, and this one was pretty sketchy. I'm not going to get too much into the story about that, but more so the numbers that we crunched down to, being that it was an Acura dealer. This still came with warranty and everything, and it was stock. This video is going to be kind of similar to the one I believe that I made when I first got the car, but I released like 6 months later. I guess the addition is going to be how much I pay for it now. For those of you that don't know, the 1LE package is the track package that includes the black hood. You got matching spoiler and splitter, much better looking wheels than the regular SS's, smokes out your taillights, and I was originally going to put MagneRide, the NPP, and the Recaro seats on the interior, but after adding those to regular SS, I realized it was about half, if not a little bit more than half of the value of the 1LE package, and it looks so much better. Also, it adds an Alcantara wheel and shifter. It would have been cool if it would have added automatically PDR. Now, I actually never received the work order or whatever it's called sticker that has all of the stuff on it in physical form. However, one of my friends was nice enough that works at a dealership to go ahead and send me one, so I'm going to show it right now on the screen. Originally, when I ordered this car back in October of 2022, was charging a, I guess, regular price for the time. 2023, they hiked up the price another $2,000, which I wasn't psyched about when I was going to order my 23. But this car sticker was $48,260. I guess that's what the person bought it for, if there wasn't a markup, which there probably was. And I received it with 1,900 miles, and I paid about $46,800. So it was about $1,500 cheaper. The dealer tried screwing me with some dock fee and some other kinds of fees, so they kind of met me in the middle with those. I just counted that as markup since I already got it for a decent deal and I didn't have to wait. Now, after taxes and fees, I was around $52,000 to $53,000. I'd put down 20. Now, the biggest tip I could give you is that if you're young like me, when I bought this, I was 23. When you're going to buy one of these cars that's pretty expensive and you don't have all the money for it in cash, make sure you go first to get a credit check and a rate. And that's what I did. I pretty much went to the dealer, went back home, and within like 3 days, I got my credit checked. And I returned to the dealership with my certified check and the check from the credit union. Originally, I was going to pay it off in 5 years, which they say is a decent amount of time. But however, the lower you go on your term, the lower the rate is that you get. So I bumped it down from 5 to 4 years, and I'm at about a 5.24 APR rate. Now, I did have some help from my mom. Fortunately, her credit's good, and she was able to be a co-signer for this car. Obviously, I got nagged a lot to not mess up her credit, but that's another tip. If one of your parents have pretty good credit, make sure you use them as a co-signer. Now, as I said, the total came out to about $52,000 for this car after tax and fees and all that. Paying it off in 4 years, after putting $20,000 down, works out to about $32,000. So currently I pay about $750 a month for this. It's unfair in the winter months like now because it's just $750 going out the window, but obviously I'd prefer to get it over and done with as opposed to continuing to add on more interest to the end of the loan. Luckily enough, the credit union I went with allows balloon payments. So if I pay, for example, 2 months worth of payments, the last 2 months of the deal will kind of fall off. So instead of it being 48, it'll kind of drop down to 46 technically, allowing me to save a little bit more on interest again, which is pretty much the goal when you're buying one of these cars with borrowed money. Now, for insurance, luckily I don't live in California because currently ZL1s and SS's, really any Camaro, is just getting stolen, and that's making the premium of these go up significantly. But sadly, New York doesn't fall too far behind when it comes to the insurance rates. Now, with a clean license, being 24, but I currently pay around $280 a month, depending on, the premium and if the insurance wants to go up or down. Just to kind of give an idea how much that is in my area, currently for a 2010 Honda Civic, I pay about 90 to 100. It's understandable, I'm not too mad, but then again, I have full coverage on this car for it being with a lien holder, which is the credit union. Now, a big tip I can give you with the insurance is that if you know your car is going to be getting put away for the winter, or you're not going to be using it for a couple of months, whatever the reason is, you're a little tight on cash, so on and so forth, you can go ahead and garage your car with the insurance. Some insurances might be a little bit more difficult to work with when it comes to making sure the credit union's listed as a lien holder. God forbid something happens to the car while it's garaged. But for the most part, it's pretty simple, and it'll save you a couple of hundred depending on how long you're going to be storing it for. So between the car payment and the insurance alone, I pay a little bit over $1,000 a month on this car. Now you might be like, oh my God, $1,000 for the car to just sit there. Again, I picked a shorter term. You could extend it out to 84 months. I don't recommend it. A majority of your payments each month are just gonna be going towards interest instead of paying the principal off of the car. Put your priorities on a scale and how much you value having money in your pocket, and whether you want to be eating McDonald's or, you know, taking yourself out to some nice places and enjoying your money. But I'm the type of person that I like to see my hard work pay off. This definitely gives me something to be happy to come home to in the summer months. Just another tip I could give to someone younger that wants to get, not exactly a Camaro, but a car that's kind of high up there in value. I wouldn't recommend paying all of it in cash at one shot unless your credit is pretty poor or you get a really bad rate. I was told by multiple places that check your credit, like the credit union and banks and online, that you're allowed to kind of shop around with the first pull of your credit when it comes to looking for a car. I believe it's 7 days or 2 weeks or something like that. So number one, make sure that you want to get the car. Don't go pulling your credit for no reason. But after you get your credit checks, a couple of months later, your credit score will start going up slowly. Currently, my credit score has gone higher than it has prior to getting this car. But that's pretty much gonna be it for the video. It's probably gonna be a short one. If you appreciated the tips or you have any to suggest, feel free to drop them down in the comments. If you have your own Camaro and you're currently paying a note on it, feel free to drop how much you pay monthly down below. Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Peace.